So, a re-review time. Brewdog Punk IPA. I remember when it got a national listing in 2010. I was working for the Beers, Wines and Spirits department. We had a massive range review, and I just got to Arnold, which is literally up there. Literally 800 yards away. And this came out in 6 times 330ml cans. I can't remember the starting ABV. Was it 6.5? I can't remember. I think it probably was actually. £6.50 back in 2010 for 6 cans. It bombed. Didn't sell well at all. Got took off about a year later. Is what it is, you know. It is a floral aroma then. It is, you know, for all intents and purposes. This says it, the beer that started it all. I hazard a guess that the American beers came first, to be fair. But it's certainly, you know, whether you like Brewdog or don't like Brewdog, for whatever reason, it certainly is a beer that, and a brewery that have courted controversy over the years. What were the owners? What were some of the outlandish stuff they've done? And recent allegations against one of the owners. Yeah, it is what it is. So, we'll re-review it. We'll see how it cooks, see how the cookie crumbles. And we'll drink this while we think about Boris Johnson in his last few days as Prime Minister. Can't be long now, can it? Can it? So, hazy, golden to amber looking pour, white head. 5.4%. There's a hoppy nose on this. Faint tropical nose. I'm gonna review it like I've never had it before. Ignore whatever happened before, just review it as a beer. Forget the fact it's Brewdog, forget the fact it's Punk IPA, just review it as a beer. And try not to spit it down my face. As I did. I can remember this back in the day being quite a potent beer, really quite in your face. It's very subtle these days. Yeah, the flavours much more subtle. It's got a little bit of poke to it, but yeah. Now, is that because back in 2010 the hops and that used in this is very different? Bearing in mind, back in 2010 it was, you know, Spitfire, Bombardier, Landlord, the Badger beers, you know, Hobgoblin, Green King IPA, all those beers were there then, including a lot of good beers that don't seem to be in supermarkets anymore. And obviously it was quite bold, quite punchy. And apart from the American beers that came in, like Samuel Adams and Blue Moon, that came in at the same time, in that range review anyway, they were probably there beforehand, you know. I'm not an historian on beers. I'm only going on what I see, what I get, and so on and so forth. Still quite flavourful, gotta be honest, you know, it's still a nice beer in the grand scheme of things. It's not the statement beer that it used to be. I think Double Punk has took that statement off it, you know. Obviously, they were Brewdog. With the cost of living crisis out there at the moment, and we all know this, the cost of craft beer and the cost of all beer is rising. Everything's rising. The beers in the supermarket are, the amount is going down the ways, where Brewdog's going up the ways. Why? Brewdog, in reality now, basically are a macro brewery. They are brewing at such volumes that they can brew and make little to no profit. And obviously they've got all their hotels, pubs, so they can, and then all the supermarkets are buying their beer. So for brand, you know, for a lot of people who don't really follow the proper craft beer scene, they're seen still as the big guys, you know, and the ones at the top. Whereas people who follow the craft beer scene know differently. I mean, even locally, we have some breweries that, yeah, a lot better than Brewdog. But obviously they haven't got that, the Brewdog money and power, literal power that they've got. But, you know, but at the end of the day, when it all comes to the shove, it's what it tastes like. And, you know, supermarket beer drinkers, and I was one of them, they just care about what it is. They don't care about politics. They just care about something that's nice to drink. Yeah, 90% of the population only care about that. Brewers won't agree with me. Craft beer fans won't agree with me. Beer reviewers won't agree with me. But it is what it is. A lot of these people, they'll go in the supermarket. Oh, I need a beer. Oh, that's that craft stuff in it. Yeah, let's have some of that. It's Brewdog. I've heard of them. And yeah, you know, it's like getting to people to try different types of wines, and they've heard of Gallo and Blossom Hill, Echo Falls, and it is what it is, you know. All good fun. So, without rattling on too long, so it's hazy. It's a golden looking pour, hazy golden. We'll call it hazy golden, whitehead. There's a hoppy, subtle tropical nose on this. It's a lot more closer nowadays to more of a traditional / craft beer than it is a full-on craft beer, with them lowering whatever they've done to make it more cheaper to brew. It's certainly, in my opinion, much more closer to its traditional beers in supermarkets than it ever used to be. But saying that, there's still a bridge. It's still a bridge into the wider world of craft beers. You discover Brewdog, you think, oh, what else is there? There you go. For me, 4.1 out of 5. Cheers.